Hello and welcome back to the Archive podcast. My name is Noah and I am joined this evening by a couple members of the Archive crew, including my cousin, Mr. Patrick J. Blanchard.
Hello.
My good friend, Mr. Brendan Riley.
Hello.
And we are soon to be joined, if I'm not mistaken, by Mr. Evan Tuhig after he gets the kids to bed. And my brother, Mr. Gavin Blanchard, as well, after he gets his child to bed. We're here this evening mainly to discuss Euphoria Season 3. We will put that on pause until Evan arrives so that we can all be on the same page. But I can tell you as a little preview listener, and you're already seeing it in the episode title, I think this is called Euphoria Season 3, The Autopsy. Or An Autopsy. I don't know. What do you think? The or an? It's definitely Autopsy, but we're gonna dissect. We're gonna see what the fuck exactly went wrong here. Before we get to that, while we're waiting for Evan to join us, Gavin has not watched, I think, a lick of the show, but I would love for him to be present for yet another tongue lashing for the fact that he made me watch the entirety of The Idol so we could talk about it on this podcast. Something that I think I still maybe give the edge as the worst Sam Levinson project. It might still eclipse Euphoria Season 3, but we'll get to all of that in just a bit. In the meantime, cousin, have you seen anything recently that you would like to discuss?
I watched the Netflix series. Something very bad is going to happen.
I Please speak about it. I keep saying the title. I have no idea what it's about or if it is worth my time.
It is a pleasant diversion that has moments of really good long form engagement, and then it kind of races to its conclusion a little bit. It's from the executive producers on it are the Duffer Brothers, who that's why it's on Netflix, because their overall deal with Netflix, of which they are now executive producing several shows.
The Neighborhood as well that just launched.
Yeah.
Is this the one with John Hamm?
One yet, but yeah, so
No,
they've got some stuff coming.
no, Brendan, no.
But this show is about a couple in their late 20s who are going to his family to get married. And from there, chaos, horror, heartbreak all ensue over the course of 8 episodes. That's another good thing about it. It's eight episodes, like 45, 50 minutes a pop. So it's not a super long investment. I really like the lead actress. She was very engaging, very much. When she's the focus on the screen, you focus on her. Like the camera loves her, and she knows how to give a performance.
Camilla Morone,
Yeah.
who was in the Death Wish remake, Daisy Jones and the Six, which I did not watch, and the new season of The Night Manager. Unfamiliar with her work. Okay.
Patrick,
Yes.
paradoxical to that, as we'll learn tonight, the camera can love you and you can still put on a terrible performance.
That is true. That is entirely true. But this one, the camera loved her, and she gave an engaging performance enough to carry the series.
Sure. Well, which one was that? That was called Neighborhood?
No, this one's something very bad is going to happen.
Okay.
Have either of you checked out any of Spider Noir over on
I
Amazon Prime?
want to. I'm afraid though, if I'm being honest.
I haven't yet. I was on vacation in Colorado until recently.
Refresh me on your tolerance level for Nicolas Cage, Patrick.
Oh, I love Nicolas Cage until I don't.
Okay, well, I don't know what you will make of the series. For me, a diehard, if you will, he and Lamorne Morris are the things that are really like firing on all cylinders for me in it.
Okay.
The black and white leaves a little to be desired. I've actually they have the feature on Prime where you can switch between the two like pretty seamlessly while you're watching the episode if you want to. So I've
Okay.
like jumped back and watched some sequences like, oh, let me see what that looks like in color and vice versa. I almost prefer the true hue or whatever the hell they're calling it. It has more like a Fallout, like very high contrast, like bright poppy color like palette to it that I kind of dig. Whereas like the black and white's like gray and white, it's that washed out. It's like not, you know, it's not really dynamic or anything.
Right.
Um, the action and like visual effects are what they are, and I'm like, and some of the noir stuff, I'm kind of like, this is fine because, and again, in my mind, that's comes with the, goes with the territory as far as the genre goes in terms of like, I don't need all this to like hang together or make sense episode to episode. Like, it can just pay off when it pays off. Like, whatever, I'm just along for the ride. Um, but yeah, anytime I find my interest like slightly waning, there'll be a moment where like Nicolas Cage has to go in and he's constantly doing different characters because he's like, oh, I got to pretend to be this person because I'm investigating, blah, blah, blah. And it's an excuse for him to just like, do a completely different performance in the moment. And I'm constantly entertained by that. So that has carried me through 4 episodes. I'm halfway through the series. I will definitely finish it. I'm having a way better time with it than I thought I would,
Yeah,
which I would say is a selling point. Uh,
I think that was my fear. Is like I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan. I think maybe a lot of us '90s babies and '70s '80s babies, Patrick, maybe. Uh, and so I'm afraid to like go into it and have it, I don't know, just not be great and then be like, ugh. Like I
well,
didn't like
and
the
you're,
Surfer. I didn't like the Surfer. I was not a big fan of the Surfer. Um, Not that
I
that's
mean,
relatable, but I just like Nicolas Cage and I don't want to watch him in something that I'm gonna be like, oh shit.
well, there's plenty of those I'm sure you could find, but he has a massive output. Uh,
I mean, I watched Amos and Andrew twice.
fair, very fair. Brendan,
Sir.
but you're a huge Spider-Verse guy. Like,
I am a Spider-Verse guy, which is another reason
and
why
this
I'm like,
is,
I don't want to dislike the show and then dislike a performance by an actor I like and a world that I or a universe, I guess for that matter, that I love.
I, I would say give it a shot. It's fun.
But I'm going
I'm
to.
in,
That is definitely on the list right behind Widow's Bay, you and I were just talking about that. So
yes, Patrick, have you dipped into Widow's Bay at all?
I haven't even heard of this.
Okay. Do you have Apple? Do you not engage
I'm
with Apple TV?
uh I am unsure if I still have Apple.
If you do have access to Apple, I was telling Brendan earlier, it's very easy for me to say it's my favorite new show since The Pit.
Okay.
Uh, it is a horror comedy that pulls off the rare feat of actually being creepy and scary when it wants to be, but never losing sight of having a good joke every once in a while.
Okay.
And not every once in a while. It's like it is a comedy forward show, but it is also pretty creepy and pretty scary in parts. Very funny. It's from Katie Dippold. She worked on Parks and Rec. It's got that vibe, but obviously it's Apple, so it's more, HBO level
Yeah.
violence and gore and language, et cetera, et cetera. But it's Matthew Rhys, Stephen Root, uh, the actor, I think it's Kevin Carroll. He was the fireman in Leftovers season 2. Uh, oh my gosh, character name is escaping me. Was married to Regina King.
Yes.
which
Yes,
show?
in Leftovers season 2. I think Kevin Carroll is the name of the actor. Um, but yeah, I forget his character name in Leftovers. But he's the one he's the fireman who lights fires. He doesn't put them out. You know, he's that guy. Anyways, he's great in it. Everybody's great in it. Very fun show. Encourage everybody to check it out. It's kind of it seems like it's having a moment. It's one of those that's at least, you know, anecdotally online, it seems like it has punched through in a big bad way as far as Apple shows go, which is kind of
Right.
like outside of Severance, it's been few and far between for something to kind of feel like it's having a moment or becoming a bit of a cultural phenomenon. But it would be
Well,
100.
Ted, don't discount Ted
Sorry,
Lasso.
excuse me. Let me, yes. But I guess that was the thing that kind of even put them on the map as a service. But I don't feel like, yeah, I think it was until Severance before there was another thing for like, oh, yeah, I still have that. I should turn that on kind of thing.
They really
Uh,
wanted Monarch to be that, but season one did not pan out that way.
yeah. They certainly, that has not stopped them from throwing more and more money and more stars at it. I will, and I've enjoyed some stuff on Apple. They do have I think it starts this week, the Cape Fear adaptation, which I've already heard incredibly mixed to negative things about, but I will be checking out regardless. Um,
Well,
because I love Cape Fear and I love Javier Bardem. So
well, to be honest, back in the second day of that, because the first day I was not around for the first movie.
mhm.
There were mixed reviews floating around the time for Scorsese's Cape Fear.
Yeah.
So it just seems like there's always going to be mixed.
Old Marty, who's newly on my shit list, my ever-growing shit list that we will talk about in depth next week. Little teaser for next week when we will finally be able to delve into the back rooms, obsession, liminal space, YouTube horror, uh, the AI, the future of the industry, all of these old guard, old masters, quote unquote, who are just fucking selling out left and right and shilling for Gen AI. Uh, we'll talk about all of that, but that'll be
Mhm.
next week. Tonight's the night we shit on Euphoria. Maybe, I'm assuming across the board. We're again still awaiting
I knew
Evan.
somebody.
If Evan comes in and he's the lone dissenting voice, who's like, "Hey guys, I liked it." I mean, I don't want to set the bar too low going into this, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
it,
we
it
need to get him on.
uh yeah, sorry, anything else you guys have been watching that you'd like to share, movie or otherwise? Obviously, I say we'll talk about it next week. Brendan has not seen Backrooms. Gavin is going on Monday. Uh, Patrick,
Security.
do you have any interest?
Oh, I'm trying. It's on my schedule of things to do while I finish up my vacation. That and Obsession.
We're
Trying. I might, if I can wake up early, I'm probably gonna hit both of them tomorrow.
If you can get, I mean, if you can get them both in before Wednesday, that would be ideal because then we'll at least have me, you, Gavin, and Brendan. Everybody will be able to do like a true and proper review. I don't know if, and I know Evan has seen Obsession. I don't know that he has gotten to Backrooms yet, but
Yeah, we're about to expedite this
in true
process.
RKV fashion, we'll be a couple weeks behind on the cultural phenomenon as it's hitting. We're already in the midst of I mean, the backlash started almost immediately. Pretty much right after it, made its budget back in previews Thursday night before it had even opened, and
Yeah.
it became very clear that dude, I don't know who gets paid to do all this box office tracking shit, but like, fire these people. Like, I mean, I could have told you before we went into this weekend that the projections were way the fuck off, and that they should have doubled them. Um, but
I
yeah,
don't know. I think the problem with projections is it's more modern technology in the hands of an older generation. Like they did not anticipate the Gen Z, Gen Alpha uh, coming out for this movie
Literally
because
what Noah said the other night. It's funny.
it's just
I
oh, go
saw
ahead.
it in an absolutely packed house Thursday night, and I mean, I looked for um, the next few nights just out of curiosity for like how well the retention was going, and I was like, regardless of, it is one of those things where inevitably I feel like even in the second weekend, people are going to feel like, well, I gotta see it, like. It made all this money and everybody's
Yeah,
talking about it and everybody has an opinion about it and I don't want to be left out. And Brendan was talking about how he's feeling like that about Obsession, which is 3 weeks deep, which if you go in certain circles online, it's like literally will be all you see is people talking about Obsession.
I told Noah I can't go around town without somebody either, because now right now I'm at two hospitals, so at work or at clinicals or school or when I go out to eat, somebody mentioning something of, have you seen Obsession? Hey, have you seen Obsession? Hey, do you like horror movies? Somebody today tried to liken it scary wise, and I'm very hesitant, and I'm sure I'm just gonna get some backlash here to being as scary as Hereditary, and I was like, whoa, let's uh let's take a moment here. But y'all have seen it, so
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my goal for
well,
tomorrow.
Noah then.
Yeah.
I
And it did that thing that doesn't happen where it rose over weekends.
Yeah, well, first of all, the fact that it did it in its second weekend is like virtually unprecedented in the modern era.
Yeah.
The fact that it did it on its third weekend
Yeah.
really like kind of rarefied fucking territory. And then, of course, I was like, what nobody's paying attention to is like Backrooms is going to come through and like probably make that much in its opening 5 to 6 days.
Yeah.
And people are just not like it's not on people's radar for whatever reason. But um, yeah, I think you got the initial wave of blind curiosity, people hearing about it for the first time, and the built-in fan base that was literally frothing at the mouth for it, myself included.
Which I have seen reaction videos both ways from people who were entrenched fan base.
It's been fascinating. That's why I'm very much looking forward to. I assume you have little to no exposure other than those videos to. Have you watched any of the series?
I have not because I wanted to go in blind
So, yeah, and
and then catch up after.
I hope you'll preserve that because yeah, and like Brendan, I think is now because he won't we won't be able to get to it until Sunday for my rewatch and his first watch. Uh, he's gonna go through it. Gavin prepped in advance, but I would like for somebody to have you know
Well,
a
I'm blind.
completely different
The
perspective.
only
So
thing I have seen is the trailer and the early trailer at that.
that's great.
But that was enough to pique my interest. Because I'm fascinated by liminal spaces and just the eerie feeling that they provide.
I think it well, I think you're gonna have a ball with the series, I will say. I will also suggest maybe like even if you don't look like something that you could watch that is not connected to Backrooms other than it's another series from Kane Parsons. Uh, but The Oldest View is something I would highly recommend you check out, which is essentially his follow-up series, his kind of next big thing after that, which is much shorter and it's just a couple videos and you could like literally knock it out in like probably like 2 hours.
Okay.
But it's it's a very interesting project. There's also tons of like, I'm obsessed with this shit or have been for like the last couple of years. So I've got tons of shit I could recommend you in that space and in the kind of analog horror, just all these like ongoing series on YouTube, stuff that's, been years ago that I'm like just now catching up to in the last couple of
Yeah.
years. Uh, but yeah, we'll get into all of that next week. Let's dive in. Hopefully Evan will join us. Euphoria season 3 wrapped up a few nights ago. And I just want I'll set the table in this way. There's been in my lifetime in my TV watching era, there's been some divisive finales uh, that got people riled up. Lost is not something I experienced in real time, but I was aware of it through cultural osmosis. It's a show I watched on Netflix like a few years after it wrapped. Um, Sopranos, famously, very controversial ending that a lot of people loved, a lot of people hate, a lot of people still debate to this day. Which again, I was aware of long before I actually like sat and watched the series.
I'll throw an old one just because it happened to be my favorite show. Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap, uh, Saint Elsewhere,
Yep.
was a big one in its day for sure. There's been a lot. I before we even got to the credits of this episode, I would say when we hit about the 45-minute mark, I was like, I think I can firmly place this definitely on the Mount Rushmore, maybe at the tippity top of the worst finale in the history of modern television.
Inarguably, if you would ask me, I'd say it's inarguable. It's
I am personally baffled by the amount of critics I have listened to in the last 48 hours who have like mildly not even defended this, but like tried to seemingly talk themselves into like, oh, but this kind of no. I refuse all, but you see, it was no. This is this season, this finale, this whole endeavor
I
kind of
don't get
feels
it.
like a giant waste of my time at this point.
Yes.
I'm mad, I'm pissed off, I'm frustrated.
My
I have never been this I don't think I've been this angry at a television show in a very long time. And I'm kind of mad at myself because I've let him do it to me more than once. It's been season two where I really, for me personally, the cracks started to show where I was like, all right, I don't know how much I can continue to defend this shit. And then I watched The Idol out of obligation to my brother, who's not here to defend himself. And it was like, fool me twice, dude. Shame on, fuck that. Okay. But
there's so much with even before the finale. It's like I'm just gonna ask this right now. So why were Lexi and Jules in this season?
Let's.
why was
I
Nate, why
mean,
was Nate in this
why
season?
was Nate in this season? Why? I mean, yeah, that's something Noah and I talked about a couple of times. Was just like,
I
dude,
mean,
like so many people had irrelevant roles, and
Like nothing changes if Jules is not in the season at all.
you could remove all those things.
not one iota. And it felt, and in the moment, all of that stuff felt so disconnected from even the given episodes we would be watching, almost
Yep.
as if they were taking place in a different like space and time. Like where I was like, are we gonna do some weird thing where it's like, here's the actual chronology of like what we've been watching this season, and everything's gonna Swiss watch itself into place, and like it's gonna be really cool. No,
No.
no, absolutely not. And yeah, with the full scope of everything, it's really hard to, from my perspective, I don't see how you cannot just be fucking furious. Where it's like, if this was the given endpoint, you like you wasted so much time on so much irrelevant shit to begin with. I I'm kind of like I don't know where I want to start, but obviously the majority of my anger, with full spoilers, obviously, I don't know why you're listening to this if you haven't seen it. Most of my anger stems from the Rue death, which is not something that I was not prepared for. In fact, I kind of thought that's where we were potentially headed this season. How we got there, as I untie the narrative knot of it, is one of the hackiest, most bullshit things I've ever seen on a quote unquote prestige TV show. This was garbage all along, it turns out. She overdoses from fentanyl given to her by, sorry, I feel like I'm monologuing. Does somebody want to interject?
Well, see,
I mean, I
my
just didn't want to interrupt you, but
my
I
thing. Oh, sorry. Just
no, no, Patrick, go
I
ahead.
didn't care.
Well,
It
that's
got
it.
to the point when she died, I didn't care. Like I'm supposed to care about this character, and you have sapped the will for me to care about Rue completely out of me.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm interested in that exact moment is just to see how Ali reacts.
I think and I'm going to try to summarize this as quickly as possible. Season 3, the world that they're in, is not the first two seasons. It's a completely different world. It's a completely different show. And not only is it a different show, but the characters you built are not the same characters. They have the same names, they've got the same relationships, but they are different MFers. They're not the same. There's no congruency there. And so the show takes on this erratic, like floundering, drowning persona as you're trying to hope that there's some genius that's going to bring this around by season, or excuse me, by episode 4 or 5. You're like, no, this is just bad. This is just bad. And like Patrick said, you get the will sapped out of you. You even care that the person that you've been following the whole time even dies. And the way they do it, you're just, I don't know if I was mad, disappointed at the show, at him, or myself for actually hoping that this was going to come full circle. And it didn't. And you kill somebody who has this awesome performance. I wasn't a Zendaya fan before this. I think this board knows that. I became a Zendaya fan. I think she crushes it. To have that stolen from me by some weak ass death and some shit ass writing, I was pissed. I sat here and it was just like that just made the whole series irrelevant. I could not recommend this show to anybody because there's no way you get through season 1 and subsequently season 2. I did like season 2 and say, well, I'm not going to finish the show. I can't tell you to end it to, but
Okay.
like if you watch 3, it is going to undermine everything that was before it.
Yep.
Everything.
Yes, Brandon and I were talking about this yesterday. It's like season one, because of the way it ends, on what you could basically call a cliffhanger with the musical sequence and like it's kind of open-ended, is not quote unquote a satisfying ending to be like, this is a great like start to finish season of television. It's like you want to see more of this. And then for me, it goes pretty seemingly off the rails in season two pretty early, but still has some great shit in it. Um, but season two at the same time doesn't feel like a satisfying endpoint to just be like, hey, don't bother with season three. So out of natural curiosity, you go
Yeah.
there, and then it's like, I can't in good conscience tell anybody that this shit is worth your time or investment when it ends this way. I have to do it. I'm sorry. We gotta undo, we're gonna do it in reverse. We're gonna Tarantino it because you love him so much, Levinson. So much so that you're gonna fucking rip off his favorite movie to rip off and just like, oh, I'm just gonna do Rolling Thunder. I'm literally I'm just gonna do Rolling Thunder with Ali for the last like basically 30 minutes of my finale. Like, cause I
Like, where did
want
that come
to.
from?
Cause I fucking want to. Get fucked, dude. Okay.
I mean, I love
Okay.
Ali, but I'm like, where did this come from? This doesn't. This is like a
You
complete
did
about
not do
face.
the
Nothing makes
legwork for
sense.
this shit. You can't have him like appear literally in the previous episode and like have the whole montage, which again in the moment is very affecting. With like, here's what his life has been like from his perspective. Post COVID, he's losing all these kids. He feels like he's stuck in a loop. He's like not getting through. He's not able to help people. People are dropping like flies by him. Um, and to me, just so blatantly telegraphed, where I was like, okay, I think I know where we're headed with Rue in the next episode. But then the way that it occurs, after narrowly avoiding, or excuse me, after being lassoed by a Nazi, by a neo-Nazi, and dragged by a horse and saved by Marshawn Lynch, she's in pain, understandably. And Alamo, a man who she has just discovered the previous evening when she goes into the safe to get the shit that they wanted to get out of there and finds, oh, this is Angel's ID. I I took her to that clinic. Wait, what? Maybe he really is a bad dude. Pause. Why the fuck those IDs are in that safe makes absolutely no sense. No logical narrative sense. If you are trafficking and disappearing women, what is the incentive for you to retain their identification after you have done that? Like what is the purpose other than a visual cue for our protagonist to have this revelation?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, I'll go with you over that narrative hurdle. So now she's armed with that information. She walks into this encounter with Alamo where he offers her Percocet. Okay. And she takes it. And I sigh and I'm like, okay, well, either A, she relapsed, or B, she just got poisoned. Literally, that's what in the moment, I was like, or she's dead. And then I was like, but here's the part where, like, because she got the piece of information in the prior scene, you reveal that, like, oh, she gummed it and she's actually ahead of the game. And she didn't actually take the pill and she's going to spit it out or whatever. She's going to get herself out of another pickle because we've seen her do it before and, whatever. But we don't do that. We continue to play out the episode, and she takes the Percocet, and then, she goes and hangs out with Ali, and uh, she's like, "Hey, can I stay and lay down on your couch?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, she's not getting off that couch." Like to me personally, it was so telegraphed. And then we have the long opening, like we show Ali waking up the next morning and coming down, and I'm like, visual language, he's about to find her dead, and
Yeah.
he doesn't,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay, okay. I'm like, okay, I'm happy, but I immediately my hackles are up because I'm like, dude, why are you fucking with me? Like you're clearly fucking with me. I know what you're about to do and you didn't do it. And then we launch into what pretty quickly became evident to me was a dream sequence.
Oh yeah. Like as soon as I'm
As
like,
soon as Fezco's breaking out, I'm like, okay, this feels like insane. And then it did slow it. I'll be honest, it didn't dawn on me immediately. It did take a minute, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
for me it was like how a non-passage amount of time and she's back home.
Yes,
I'm like,
after
oh
basically just sprinting out of there on foot.
yeah,
Yes, I did have
Jumping the
that thought where I
roof,
was like,
just
wait, did
running
they
from the
live there?
cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah.
I think there's a point too where you like
So
if you go back to episode 1 or 2, whatever it is, where the stripper at Alamos dies from the drugs. And you can look back at that now and be like, well, this is clearly telegraphing. But Rue was there for that. Rue was there for that. She was there for that. She also watched them kill the parrot, which you're like, okay, does that really matter? But it's fentanyl. It's fentanyl each time. But the drugs that they're giving away, or using for that matter. And you get to the end of the series, you realize how bad he is. You see all these IDs that shouldn't be there. And you like Noah said, you're thinking like, okay, she has all the pieces. It's not even that she has the pieces, the writing is on the wall.
yeah.
And you allow her to still die in this manner. Took away any potential dignity, growth, smarts, intelligence, anything that Rue could have had, did have, progressed with. It diminished her character to kill her in that manner.
Did
If she was going to overdose, like I think, like Noah and I talked about this yesterday too. If she was going to overdose because she relapsed, okay, sad, but like I'm fine with her dying. But the way that she died, that was bullshit.
did you watch the after action?
no.
Oh
Nah.
my. Levinson's like, someone like Rue's not gonna make it out of this life. Like she's just gonna die. And I'm like, I get that.
What a
I get
hopeful
that.
message to send to people who are, struggling with addiction and everything. Like that's great, buddy.
Yeah,
And it's like again, if that's the story you want to tell, I'm like, I don't begrudge that at all. That is like that's not an unrealistic story to tell given the trajectory of this character. But the way it was ultimately handled in its plot contrivance bullshit kind of way. The
yeah.
fact that the whole reason that he poisons her is because she just like decides to tell Lexi DEA, okay? And then Lexi just decides to mention it to Maddie because we need her to. And
Yeah.
Maddie just decides to mention it to Alamo because we need her to, not because it makes any logical sense for how any of these characters would behave, because you're arbitrarily moving little puzzle pieces that you think you need to do, and you think you're doing the legwork to set this stuff up so that it's not a cheat when you do this, but it's done in the most ham-fisted bullshit way. I also have to point out one other thing that ties into the Alamo of it all. Kitty. I need to talk about Kitty for a minute.
I don't know
The
where you're
show,
going with this,
the
but let's talk
show,
about Kitty.
the show constantly, we've talked about it, likes to try and have its cake and eat it too. You know, it likes to be about exploitation while it is being exploitative. It likes to push your buttons. It likes to make you feel uncomfortable. I am not down for that in in my art and entertainment. That's totally fine by me. But you're dancing on a knife's edge at all times. Okay. One of the things that also tipped off Rue to Alamo, maybe not being a good guy, which again, we have to go in with like how broadly naive can she be within like, within working there for a few weeks that like you you're cool with all this?
Yeah.
But putting that all aside, one of the
You sure
things that
about
really
that?
kind of makes her start to beyond dropping off Angel and having kind of the weird moment at the clinic, and then like a lot of time goes by, is Kitty comes in and she at one point, Rue sees Kitty on the security camera, essentially being gang raped by like a bunch of frat guys.
Yeah.
And it's a very upsetting scene. It was very effective. You could argue it was maybe went on a little too long. It was a little too gratuitous. Like totally got its point across before it needed to go that far. But she sees that and it's very much she kind of internalizes it and she has she goes and asks her like, are you okay, like do you want to be here, kind of thing. And then there's the tense moment with her and Rosalia and like, hey, she's trying to like narc on the girls and blah blah blah, and then there's the robbery that happens and you kind of forget about all of that bullshit. But it's a very upsetting scene, and they play it for an emotional beat, and it's like, yeah, this is fucked up. But like the show actually does highlight some of these moments sometimes, so it's like it's the thing that makes you kind of feel okay about some of the grossness is that, well, at least the show's acknowledging it every once in a while.
Yeah.
Um, to take that character and then like just a few episodes away from when that happens, have the whole BBL like basically walking sight gag for like what felt like an egregious amount of screen time.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was, dude. I was
Um,
gonna say it was
is just
brutal.
that's the kind of shit that I'm like, dude, you're not even like fucking with me at this point. This just narratively, like if you put it all together, this feels gross to do that with this character who you just told that story with in Microcosm a few episodes prior, to just be like, well, now she's fine and she's going to Mexico and she's getting a BBL and like we're just gonna show it to you and do a whole tracking shot through
I
the strip
I
club, like
giggled.
focused on it. Like, I don't know, dude. That's the kind of stuff that like, yeah, does kind of start to make my stomach churn.
Yeah, I
That's
giggled
before
when
we
he
get
first came on.
into Ali and Alamo exchanging words like Mandingo. And I'm like, it's one white Jewish guy who wrote this screenplay. This is uncomfortable. This is fucking weird, man. Like, I I don't know. And again, we don't have to police everybody's like who's allowed to write what kind of characters, but some of this shit makes my skin crawl. There's a lot of skin crawl in Euphoria. There was a lot packed into this finale.
There,
Um,
to your point, like the first time they showed Kitty after the BBL, I giggled a little bit. You know, I think we talked about that. I
Full
giggled,
disclosure, as did I. It was only
but
kind of the dawning realization of I was like, weren't they
about 20 minutes later, where he's
yeah.
still having the camera at waist height, still following her around, where I'm just like, all right, dude, like, we got it, we got it. The first 19 minutes, like now you're still doing this. Yeah,
And
it
again, that's
was a
that
lot,
that's
and then like you
such
said, it became a Tarantino movie in the last 10 minutes. Like, what are we doing?
well, I mean, the show is constantly aspiring to, and that's my thing. Is I'm like, when your main touchstone is somebody whose entire ethos is basically, I just take the shit I like and I just wholesale sample it. Like that's, I mean, and he would tell you as much. The one unique thing is his dialogue, and I would argue Sam Levinson's weakest point as a creative is his screenwriting from a like structure standpoint down to an actual like dialogue basis. I think there's great shit in the first season in particular, like the Rue narration, but I even think the narration starts to kind of wander off in a lot of weird directions as the show goes on.
Yeah.
I don't think that's his strong suit. I have continued to say, and I will say while I'm sitting here bashing the guy, um, I still think the visual panache and style and like cinematography of this show is kind of unrivaled and is the thing that keeps you engaged on a moment to moment basis for me at least as somebody who like likes this shit.
It's the only
But
redeemable factor. Like that's the only thing I can find that's truly redeemable to season three.
But it didn't feel
Visually,
the
it's
same.
appealing.
Like
It's
it didn't
appealing.
it didn't wow me like season one and season two did. Like it lost the look of Euphoria.
It didn't look like it. Yeah, I agree for
Like
sure.
this was Dust Bowl Euphoria. This was down in the dirt. Like it wasn't did not look the way I liked Euphoria to look.
I
It was a good look, but not in comparison to what came before. Like it just
oh no,
the
I
visual
completely
language
agree.
wasn't there.
I completely agree with that. I think just on a pure like on a pure visual stimulus basis, it's like it didn't lose that. It was a different vibe, but
Yeah.
I think simply the fact that they shoot the show on film and like actually there is thought
This
put into the shot composition, et cetera, like it is still one of the most visually stimulating shows,
it
which
went from like dark
yeah.
to 70s bright poppy type of look and aesthetic. And neither one of them were bad, but it is a completely different world, you know.
Yeah, just
I think I don't know. Some of the characters in this were just like by season three, what they rewrote them as were some of the most intolerable and insufferable characters that I've seen in a TV show. And begrudgingly to Patrick and mine's TV candy here, I have to put it out there that I think if we and when we make a list of the worst performances and least liked characters in a TV show, if Cassie's not my number one, I don't know who's going to be. I mean, that was just insufferable. It was terrible. It was hard to watch when she was on screen.
I think
yes.
there's an argument to be made that the just absolute explosion of Sydney Sweeney post White Lotus and Euphoria season one heading into season two um maybe is the thing that ultimately fucked the entire show. Like I genuinely think dialing up her screen time so much in season two,
Yeah.
um, with her and Nate and all of that, which yeah, again, that's where a lot of my issues start in season two. Uh, Dialing up that and then like again, clearly here in season three, where it's just like it was so siloed off, all the stuff with her and Nate, and then eventually, Maddie comes into the fold. And of course, Lexi's kind of floating around in there as well. But it's like none of those plot lines really came to anything beyond. We didn't even, sorry, so we didn't
Then
pod
being
about it.
necessary
Can we
for
go,
a plot point to show up.
Yeah,
can we go back to the death of Nate?
that was so dumb,
And
dude.
just, I'm talking within the context of that episode, how poorly that was handled from a staging and narrative perspective. The fact that we see the snake, you know, headed towards the pipe. Dude, great. Leave the tension. Like, all right, let's step away from it. And then the rest of the episode plays out.
And
No,
then it's Schrodinger's
I'm
box.
gonna have the snake crawl all the way down the tube. Okay, holy shit, dude, cut there. No, I'm gonna have it curl up on his chest, and I'm gonna have it literally lunge into camera. Okay, so he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, but then you're gonna play the end of the episode as if it's like, oh my God, he might still be alive in there. Oh, can you believe the reveal? And it's like, I guess it's a reveal to them, but I was just like, I thought that was so fucking poorly handled. Like so
Oh, it
many
was
other
terrible.
things that just,
Oh, and the after action, Levinson loved it. Everything about it.
Really? Oh, he says that?
Yeah, like
Because it's
he,
so easy. I mean, like to that point, all you had to do was show the snake go forward. When they go to dig it up, if you wanted him to be dead, as soon as they look in the box, do a snapshot back as to what happened in the box, and then also show him dead. You could have taken that same scene, kept it, spliced it later in the show, and it'd have been great. Well, not great. I mean, the show is still terrible, but it would have been better than
yeah,
um, while we're shitting on the, to season three transitions,
that.
it cannot be overstated, um, how much I like genuinely the Rue and Jules relationship in season one in particular was like it's still one of my favorite things I've seen in recent TV. Like it was something really fucking special.
yeah,
And the Jules character in particular, putting a transgender character on screen, played by a transgender performer, and just, actually like let's let this character have a full three-dimensional life, or at least that's what it felt like in the first season.
yeah,
To get to season three and just feel like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Oh,
what an absolute waste of an incredibly talented actress and like up to this point, very compelling character, and in my mind, one of the two most important characters on your fucking show.
yeah,
And I don't know if it's a scheduling thing. I don't know what behind the scenes machinations led to how everything was plotted out and how everything ultimately worked out in the edit. But it's very fucking weird to like not have Hunter Schafer say a word in the finale and just like that's where we leave that character. They're just still living in that penthouse with that dude. Like
I
I
got
don't know,
I got two
man.
things to
I
say.
that bummed me the fuck out. That bummed me out. Maddie, like Maddie's whole trajectory bummed me the fuck out. Like her kind of having to like get involved with Alamo. Thankfully, they keep all of that stuff off screen, but like the implication is somehow worse.
yeah.
And I'm just like, what a shitty like thing to put that character through, seemingly for no reason. Like I don't.
Well, he turned all of them, and I know we have an audience, so earmuffs. This is the only word that come to mind. He turned all of them into a bunch of pussies. Like every single character became a shell of their former self. I don't know that any character showed any confidence or
Speaking of,
congruency with
sorry,
who they were
if I may
before.
interject, speaking of pussies, how did we spend that much time on the neo-Nazi raid for it not to turn into a giant shootout? Like he's teasing it like it's about to,
And
Oh
and
yeah,
then it's like, oh, I'm not actually going to do it. I'm going to subvert your expectations, but it's like, but I'm still going to spend the money to get these fucking helicopters to land out here and have a
and
full
25
team
police
come in.
vehicles.
It's just
and then
like,
just not
dude,
follow through. Yeah.
oh, and it's, I don't know, dude.
The
Evan, we're pretty deep. Evan has joined us. Evan, we couldn't hold off any longer, dude. We've given
I,
it a thorough lashing, so we will take a breather. We'll also welcome my brother Gavin Blanchard, who's never seen a single episode of Euphoria, but he did make me
I
watch The
don't
Idol. Third time I'll bring it up this
I
episode.
don't think he's watching it now.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the we're just shitting all over your boy.
There was something you said about both you and Patrick said about Hunter Schafer and Zendaya. Man, when they're on screen together, their tension, their ability to play off each other, it's captivating. I mean, they're good with each other.
Yes.
Um, and I do think it's probably the best part of the show as far as the scenes go, the acting goes. It just felt like kind of like you said, like by season 3, they just gave up on Jules. They're just like, hey, here's this person. Let's go ahead and put her in this trapped apartment to be somebody's toy. And maybe he thought he was being clever, being like, hey, trans people feel like they're trapped in this life that they can't actually live. Maybe like if I stretched it out, but at the end of the day, they still gave Jules no backbone. It was like she had zero relevance to the entirety of the show, and they gave up on her.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Should I start with a wild take?
You
Oh,
liked
please.
it. You liked it.
No, no, no. Hear me out. Well, I didn't hate it as much as you. Hold on.
He's
Let
like,
me
hear me out, hear
explain.
me out. I loved
Let me
it.
explain. Let me explain. So I figured tonight I was like, I can't come in and just hate with them. I got to take a counterpoint to this. So I'm going to. So completely agree. All the stuff with Nate and Jules, all that stuff just felt like filler, like completely unnecessary. If they had whittled the show down just to the crime narrative with Rue, I would have probably loved it. But like obviously made that better, of course. Like if there had been nothing else but that and it had laser focused on that, but like it just the character stuff didn't make sense. Like Coleman, like if I could have spent like 4 or 5 more episodes of Coleman Domingo, I think I would have been like all in, dude. I would have probably loved it. Like the last 2 episodes, I was like, the fuck were we doing the rest of the season? If we would have just done this for the whole season, only this, I would have loved it probably. I don't know. That's my wild take was that stuff could have been really good because there was some pretty good I actually thought Marshawn Lynch wasn't all that bad either. I
Dude,
mean, there,
again, up until kind of honestly the last 2 episodes, yeah, all the Rue crime underworld story was like really working for me on just a pure entertainment level. It's
yeah,
when we started to get into I won't run through it again for everybody on who's
Who's
hopefully
already
still
listened this
listening at
far?
this point. But yeah, dude, when we start to get into some of the like just absolutely baffling like plot machinations to like get to the point where he's even going to poison her in the first place. The fact that she doesn't realize it, the fact that you play it all out as like a dream sequence that then gets retroactively revealed, and then we didn't even mention you kill her off 45 minutes in the episode, and I was like, there's an hour left of this shit? You're fucking kidding me. And then we go play Rolling Thunder for like 30 minutes at the end of the episode. That that all of that whiplash bullshit really frustrated us, is kind of where we were coming from. So, to your point, yeah, if they had fleshed it out and actually like, there's definitely a way to have Rue die and even have Rue die at the hands of Alamo, but not in the bullshit way that they made it happen. It was
Such a
very
cop out. It's so
frustrating,
bad.
very fucking frustrating. Um,
yeah. The crime part of the show, that narrative out like kind of like had my attention, and they didn't use Nate at all. It was just such a bummer. He was like probably one of the most interesting characters on the show, I thought. So
I would
whatever.
have said he was the second lead after the first and second
abs
season. Maybe
absolutely.
maybe them and then
We
Jules.
we
But
don't,
like,
and again, we don't know all the behind the scenes lore, etc. The show
Right.
has always had a very turbulent production.
Yeah.
Um, I think there's definitely a world where Jacob Elordi was like, just fucking kill me. Just fucking kill me, bro. Like,
What if
just
it's
get me
It could have been scheduling. It could have just
that's
been scheduling stuff too. Like,
I think
you know,
that's
like
I think that's partly it, and why so many things felt like they were just like siloed off and like happening in their own little like side, B and C stories.
but we
And
say that, but then at the same time, you have Zendaya's got Dune coming out part 3 and all these other things. So it doesn't really make sense. Like, I mean, that could be an excuse, but at the same time, she's probably doing as much or more work than anybody. So, and the drama coming out. I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
I assume that they do press tours for all of those
the new
things as well.
Spider-Man. She's in the new Spider-Man,
New
right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Yeah, like I said, she's probably one of the working the most out of all of them. My other hot take here. Did any of you guys ever see any of you guys see Reality? Um
it did
Oh,
with
not.
the TV show. It's like
no
the
no no it's an HBO movie. It's a true story that they adapted. It's the girl the lady who broke the story on Russian collusion in the election, but she like basically disclosed like ways and means of like three-letter agencies to know that in the first place, which is why she got in trouble. But she basically disclosed it to a reporter, and Sydney Sweeney plays the main character, and
I heard about this.
and
I didn't see it.
she's actually really very, very good in it. Like the whole movie is just sort of like hinges on her performance because half the movie is kind of like looking at her face while she's getting questioned by the FBI and stuff. And she's fantastic in it. And
Sydney Sweeney?
Sydney Sweeney, so good. And then there's an Apple TV movie where she did with Julianne Moore where she's really good as well 'cause she's playing against type kind of. Yeah, that's why I thought like in this one, I gotta give her a little bit of credit because I was like, having seen some other things that she's done, it's like she is acting in Euphoria. I know it may not feel like it. It's like, oh, that's probably how she really is. I actually thought like after seeing both of those movies, I haven't seen Christie yet, and I don't know if I will because I've watched the documentary, but I don't know. I assume she was probably pretty good in that as well. So it's just like they used maybe only a couple of their characters. They had so many strong like actors on the show. They just didn't put all of them to good use. And her storyline was kind of weak as well, I thought. But
Of that was, and I mean, to your point, maybe it was the way it was written, but I find her to be, if not the most insufferable character I've seen in any TV show or movie ever.
but
Ever.
that's the point is she's playing that. So I would say that's what I'm saying. I think she is a good actress. So just because I've seen those two things, I mean, if you just go
She's
watch
also
this,
really good in a TV show called Everything Sucks, which was set in the '90s, and she was played a high school theater queen bee, and like nailed it. Like she was one of the best things in that show. And I loved Cassie in season one. Like
yeah,
Yeah,
the
season one,
whole
she and
Yes,
that persona, yeah.
yeah.
season one.
Well,
Very important thing to bring up there. I think two is where that character goes completely off the rails. Uh, yes.
but
I will say because we
right.
have debated it, like what's the performance? I think she's good in White Lotus season one. I don't think she particularly like blew my mind or anything, but I think she did her job well. And that was a quote unquote different character. So,
oh, I think
uh,
my other problem with Cassie this season is like the whole OnlyFans things just seems like a watered down, less impactful version of the Barb season one story.
it also feels like um, a couple years too late,
Mm.
weirdly, where I'm like, I guess that's the production timeline, but I'm kind of just like, I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like
they might have been shooting during
he
the
was like super obsessed with this, like, well, and I guess the show is set in 2004 or 2024 rather. Like it's not current with us.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's 5 years after they graduated, whenever they graduated at this
yeah,
point.
in this amorphous high school timeline.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, it just very, very, very frustrating season, with the full scope of it. Didn't hate it week to week in terms of like, was like, all right, we'll see what we're gonna get. But yeah, real.
Well, like, yeah, I didn't hate it week to week. I only started hating it as I watched back week to week.
Well,
Like,
you start caring less, like you were saying. Like by episode 5, I didn't really care anymore.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
care. I had zero. They all could have died from fentanyl. I did not care.
And
Yeah,
then,
Yeah.
but then he does that
I
thing where like the Alamo Brown flashback. It's like, give me that fucking story.
Oh, for sure. He's great, by the way, in the show. I mean, I don't
Like,
know
I
more
want to see how that kid turned into him. Give me that
exactly.
show.
well, and
Exactly.
that's my thing is I'm like, it's so clearly, I guess, it's just weird to take your final season, presumably, I don't know if they planned on it being the final going into it, and just kind of shove all the stuff that you clearly would rather be doing in it. It's almost
Yeah,
like, okay, well, I assume you have like an OnlyFans movie in you because you're a fucking weird little fucking freak, Sam Levinson. Like, okay, that's clearly on display constantly. Like, you've thought about this a lot. You've probably spent a lot of money on it. Like, on the site, I mean, you probably spent a lot of money there. And so you're kind of fascinated with your own fascination with it. So clearly, yeah. you're like, if I could find a way to like research that for like a film and have like a studio fund my OnlyFans habit, that would be pretty cool. So that's where I imagine that element comes from. It's like he's working on a screenplay for that. And then on this
What's
other side, he's got his like, I want to basically do like a black exploitation movie. I want to make my Tarantino black exploitation movie.
That's what it did. It felt like a
Um,
Tarantino ripoff, exactly.
and I want to do that. So I'm gonna have that little storyline going on over here. And then I don't know what the fuck is the like psychosexual drama that he's attempting to do with Jules and
It went
the
nowhere.
the sugar
It went
daddy.
literally nowhere.
Like, I don't know what the fuck that was, but
I'm gonna
yeah,
have
it
Maud
literally just feels
Apatow in
like,
this
oh,
because
these
she's
these are
contractually
all the
obligated.
other things you'd rather be working on that are probably individual projects, but you're just like, let me just fit them in this box. Because I guarantee you, after The Idol, they were basically like, yeah, we'll take Euphoria season 3. We won't take any of this other shit that you may or may not be presenting to us. We're not so in love with you anymore. And I'll be very interested to see after this what kind of legs he has in terms of maybe going back to features, or if HBO is like gonna continue to pony up the dough for stuff that again seemingly gets a lot of engagement, but are we tarnishing the brand? I
What's the
mean,
movie he did? It's with the I don't know if they're like four high school girls or four college girls.
American, I'll look it up. It's
Um, I
American
s-
something.
I saw that one. Oh my God. Did anyone else see that? Absolutely terrible. I was like, oh, he made Euphoria. I enjoy Euphoria. I watched that one. I was like, whoa, this is so bad. And I think they put that out on
Assassination Nation, excuse me, it doesn't have
Assassination
America
Nation.
in the title. It just sounds like it would.
Um,
And then
yeah.
Malcolm and Marie, which was kind of insufferable. That was a COVID movie.
Uh,
I liked the black and white cinematography though.
that is the
Speaking
only.
of Spider
I watched the
Noir,
trailer and I was
yeah,
like, I'm going to not watch this movie and just let this trailer live in my head.
yeah. Speaking of Spider Noir though, it did have gorgeous black and white cinematography. But that's about all I remember about it because it's basically just him complaining about criticism of Euphoria for the entire movie. Like it's literally about a person complaining about their critics and how their art is perceived. It's fucking insufferable. It's like it's bad. It's very bad. And he makes Zendaya and John David do it because it was COVID. And what else the fuck were they gonna do?
Ooh, yeah.
So, um, and then yeah, everybody knows my feelings about the idol. Let's take a Euphoria pause. Gavin, I would like you to say some words on Mike since you did grace us with your presence. What you been watching? What you been enjoying? Don't watch Euphoria. It's not worth your time. Don't worry about it. Just you
I
don't
was
even need to. Don't do it. You're
I
good.
was gonna say I just finished my Idol rewatch. Went back and did it in a day. Still stand behind it. Also gonna say probably what messed
Mauricio, you mean Mauricio? Oh
no
fuck, what was his name?
Tedros
No, it's Mauricio. What?
Jackson Mauricio
Mauricio
Jackson.
Jackson. Thank you. Sorry,
Yeah.
his real name,
Um.
which gets revealed in the finale. Huge revelation. It
Yes.
was Mauricio Jackson.
Yeah.
Mauricio Costello Jackson, Gavin. I
Right.
remembered it now.
I will tell you that's probably you're talking about the success of the people after season one, season two. I think if he doesn't do the Idol, if he doesn't try to team up with The Weeknd and he rolls right into season three, I feel like you guys are having a different conversation.
I agree.
But stopping midway through on the euphoria train of like, hey, people are engaging. I've got these people, that are, taking off. Let me get a third season, then I can jump to the idol. Maybe it's a little bit better for you guys. I have understand now that the reason why there's a ton of brand new shows and they're like 8 episodes is because you don't get paid by how many episodes you give them. You get paid by how many shows you deliver. So the fact that, you know, you could have maybe eked out a little bit better like season for this and then gone to a whole new idol, I think that says a lot as far as like so like it's not the fact that these people got really famous afterwards. It's that he met up with the weekend and did this whole idol thing and
That's literally the
yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it
it.
no, the weekend is to blame because again, that entire project was supposed to be helmed by um Amy Simons,
Hmm.
who worked on Atlanta and is a great actress in her own right, and was working on that show and then
Hmm.
creative differences with old Abel
Mm-hmm.
Tesfaye, and he was like, "Let me go. I'm gonna go get the Euphoria guy," and then it became okay. I'm speculating, but hey, you wanna go hang out for a weekend and do a bunch of drugs together and just like come up with ideas because that's what that fucking show feels like.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
Yes. And so then they go and do that, which spirals into like presumably like a year and a half, 2 year production cycle. It completely fucks any trajectory of Euphoria, exactly like you're saying. But it's the weekend's fault, ultimately. That's the
Mm-hmm.
reason we have the season three that we do. So let's just lay it at his feet along with Sam Levinson. Let's not forget to lay the blame squarely on that teeny tiny Nepo baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Has anyone started watching Margot has money problems yet?
I finished it, dude. I
Dude,
love
it's
it.
so fucking good.
It's
So
so
right.
good.
So
It's so
good.
good.
Dude, it's so
Nick
good.
Offerman is just he's just
The best.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess I gotta start now.
It's just so enjoyable.
Yeah.
Did you watch? I guess you guys didn't watch Widow's Bay yet.
I
Yeah,
did.
I did.
Did you watch the most recent one today?
I'm all caught up. Yep.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Okay, hell yeah. Um, Patrick, to entice you, uh, for a couple episodes, they start teasing that back in the 2000s, a bunch of the high school girls were attacked by the boogeyman.
Yes.
And in the previous episode to this week's, which just came out today, they go to the boogeyman's house, and it's like it's creepy and decrepit. It's a white house, single door, little porch. And then, of course, tonight's episode, the boogeyman showed up,
Okay.
and it's their riff
It's
on
so good, dude.
Halloween, and
What's this show?
it's so
Widow's
fucking
Bane.
good, Patrick. You have
Okay.
to start watching it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the
it's
probably
it's
the
yeah,
best thing of one of the best things about the best thing I've seen this year
it's kind
so far.
it's kind of like the best sort of horror anthology that is also an ongoing series, if that makes sense, where it's like they kind of have a genre of the week almost, where it's like, okay, let's do witches, or like let's do a
Okay.
ghost story, or like let's do this, but it's all in an ongoing narrative that like flows and makes sense because it's just this island that is fucked up. It's cursed and it has all this weird shit going on with it, right? So perfect, dude. It's one of those that I'm immediately like, as long as they want to make this, just please keep making this. I would watch this for like 10 seasons if you guys want to do it because it's a blast. But also, I'm like, it'd probably be better contained to like, let's do three and make them really let's not turn into what we do in the shadows, which was incredible. And then, all right, I'm getting a little worn out in season 4 and 5. And I think they made it to 6. I forget how many they did, but
Like I can't believe
that show
American
went on
Horror
a little
Story
too
is still
long.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
American Horror Story is still going.
Yeah, they
Oh,
just
yeah.
announced the newest season.
Wow.
I
Because
don't,
like the early seasons were great,
Yeah.
and then it just
First season's great.
it kept going.
Ev, do you have any interest and or do you have any plans to see Backrooms?
I do, yeah. I just got to find a time to go do it. We saw Obsession a week or two
Well,
ago.
the game plan, because Brendan and Patrick have not seen either film.
Okay.
Uh, Gavin, I don't think you've seen Obsession either. Is that correct?
No.
Okay,
Not
Gavin
yet.
hasn't seen either, but he's definitely going to see Backrooms uh before our next record slot. So theoretically, if everybody's seen it by Wednesday, the plan will be uh Obsession and Backrooms review slash as I mentioned earlier in the pod, just general state of the industry, uh the AI shit list of growing shit list of various directors and creatives right now. Um Liminal Space, Analog Horror, YouTube, etc., etc. I'll have recommendations for people that want adjacent shit to all of this stuff. You know, 3 weeks after it's actually relevant. Hope people,
Can't wait. Can't wait.
I hope people will still be listening. But yeah, so I am curious though. What's your exposure to the series? Because Gavin has now watched all of it, the YouTube series. I mean,
I've
uh,
also watched like 3 4 and 5 hour long videos about what I just watched, just so that I know like what I didn't understand and what I missed. Because I was just like, what? There's like literally been like three people, and the last thing I watched was like this guy that I guess interviewed Kane Parsons about it. So there was like something with him from the set of the movie explaining things, and I was like, "This is cool." He's like, "I can't show you the footage because A24 would have me killed, but I could at least play the audio, and when the movie comes out, then I could show you the footage." And I was like, "I'll check back with this guy," but yeah, and just the idea that like that's all one thing, but it literally is just one thing in a huge sea of like other stuff of what Backrooms is. It blows it. I don't. It's it breaks my brain sometime trying to think about it.
Can you
It's
go in
crazy.
cold? Can you go in
You
cold though?
go,
Like
dude. Yeah, dude, do it. Because all
I
that Noah will tell you, the only thing you're gonna do is just be delighted when you go on YouTube and watch this thing this guy's created on YouTube. You're just gonna be like, holy shit, this is perfect. I'm gonna have the opposite effect and be like, this movie's fucking rocks. But you'll have the other one of like, okay, I saw this movie. Holy shit, this all makes sense now.
I do think my
yeah,
favorite media on it has been Mark Duplass going out and saying that I don't care what any of y'all say, what rumors you're
Oh yeah,
hearing. I was
love
on
him.
there, and Kane Parsons directed this movie. He had his shit together.
Yeah, that was that. I loved seeing that from him, man. Mark Duplass, man. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
the amount of kind of again, we'll get into all of this in more depth next week, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of generational gatekeeping, a lot of people who are very a mix of jealous and scared, um, who are treating it in a very particular way, even in certain interviews, by some big podcasts I could name and maybe get into where I'm like, that was pretty fucking condescending. And this is in regards to like interviews with Kane, but also with Curry Barker in regards to Obsession, where there's this general tone of people just like, all right, I'm still gonna maintain a certain amount of suspicion because I don't want to kind of admit that like these people like and creators like them might kind of be the future in a certain way, and it makes me uncomfortable. A lot of
Just
that
coming,
going
they're just
around.
coming from a different place than people like what Ari Aster and
Absolutely.
Kreger and I
Well,
mean,
as
does it really matter where you get those guys from? As long as you
I,
get them.
exactly. I'm like,
it's about the age, man. Think about like our favorites and how old they were when they were made. You know what I'm saying? Like at least mine. Like when I everything that I love, the people were in their 20s, maybe 30s.
that's what.
I
Yeah,
know. So it's like that's a fresh perspective. Like you don't know you can't do something. Whereas like all these people who've grown up and done it, they're like, well, I had this, I had that. It's like, yeah, but when you were that age, you didn't know that you couldn't do X, Y, and Z, or that, oh, I had to do one picture for them and one for me, or like I couldn't get this put out, or,
I mean, you had
like
to figure out what to do when the shark doesn't work.
exactly, right? Yeah. And if it's not, okay, you got to figure out what to do in Blender or VidCreate or whatever medium you're working with, but you're still having to figure it out. And it's like, I think people forget that it's like you were young too, and you didn't know shit then. This kid just grew up not knowing that he could maybe mess something up, and I've heard him say in interviews, a lot of this is luck. Like I got really lucky. Like I'm not tooting my own horn that I'm some major dude, but I understand that I took this from this whole other, genre of horror, so to speak, that's kind of been only limited to the younger generation and or the internet generation. And I got really lucky with it that I did this because like I said, you could go down this kid's whole rabbit hole of this whole backstory and everything he's done. That has nothing to do with like what quote unquote the back rooms really is from the source of where it's coming from. And there's tons of other stuff that other creators are doing. And the fact that I mean maybe there is discord about like, oh, why did this guy get to be picked and not? But at the same time, you know, if like I told Noah in a text, if you're a kid in COVID and you've got nothing to do, but you have like the ability to use a computer, yeah, why not go ahead? Why not make rumors? Why not go ahead and like or record rumors? Why not go ahead and just do it and see what happens? So
yeah.
I think everybody here will, besides not excluding Noah, because Noah's the one who turned me onto it, is going to be very, very satisfied with it. And then of course our conversation. afterwards because there's a ton to get into there that I can't wait to.
But yeah, and I was gonna say, I would prefer you to go in cold because I think
Yeah.
Brendan is gonna watch the series, but Patrick is going in cold as well. So it'd be nice to have a little balance of, you know, varying perspectives. But yeah, I'm excited for that chat and also to talk about Obsession finally, like on mic, because none of you
Uh,
have seen it except for Evan, and we've talked about it off mic a little bit. But my God, guys,
And he just got announced as the new Texas Chainsaw guy, right?
he's doing
Yeah.
Texas
Yeah.
One
Yeah, I
of
think he
Chainsaw.
gets to do his own take on it, right? Like he can rewrite it a bit. Doesn't have to do like a straight remake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he's doing the film version and Glenn Powell's producing the TV version because
with the
A24
Strange
is just like,
Darling
hey,
guy.
we bought the rights. We're just gonna put it out there because the series has so much behind it in different paths anyway. So pick what you like.
I dig that as opposed to sitting and waiting for Crystal Lake on Peacock for. Is that finally happening this year?
Yeah, October.
Is it Cardellini? Who's the one?
Cardellini is
They
Jason
got
Blum.
me. They got me with that. They
Oh
really did.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch.
Oh, did you? Speaking of her, did anybody watch DTF St. Louis?
Yeah,
It's been on my radar. I just haven't done it
Yeah.
yet. Is it good?
I've seen a
It's
couple
it's
episodes.
it is not what you think by the end of it, but it's I don't know, man. I loved it. I
All
I
just
right,
think
where it goes, I'm just like, okay,
I'm gonna
it's
do it.
it's worth it. Like it's one of the few that I've sat down and after the first episode, I'm like, I'll finish it. I don't know if this is going to be as good as I think it is, but I enjoyed it. I know I liked The Idol. I didn't love it. I liked it. So don't take my word for it just because of what I've liked in the past, but I enjoyed it.
the
Oh,
first two episodes are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
is it,
it's not what I expected at all.
No, and then once we get to the third and fourth one, you're like, oh, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
has anyone watched The Burrows yet?
Yes.
Okay, that one I really enjoyed.
I think
Yeah,
I
that
called
was
it the neighborhood earlier.
Mm,
That is what I meant to say,
okay.
gentlemen. I definitely called it the neighborhood, and
When
I
you said
meant to
neighborhood, that's
say
why I was like,
the
is he talking about
boroughs.
friends and neighbors? Which is
Which
I
is also great.
No,
knew it
yeah,
was
I need
like
to
good call, Brendan. And I'm sitting here going, he's like, is that the one with John Hamm? And I'm like, no.
no.
I'm like, it's another thing called Neighbors. And he's like, no, that's the your friends and neighbors.
Apple TV's on a tear right now. They got several good things on.
They
and
are.
we're literally today we are a month away from Silo season 3. I
I
don't know if
just
anybody's been
saw that.
watching Silo.
I saw they
Uh,
dropped the date, brother, and I was like, okay, I need to start the binge so
dude,
that I can
it's
catch up.
yeah.
They're finally in it. It took a while for them to get established, I feel like, to put some good
hmm
shows out. I mean, after Blackbird and then, obviously everything this year. And then I loved Your Friends and Neighbors first season. Second season's been good. Not as good as the first one, but yeah.
Severance season 2, huge
Yeah,
disaster in
Severance
my
season two is
opinion.
is a bummer.
Yeah. What's the
One step back.
Oh, and then I think still, or I think they did officially cancel it. The one thing the reason I held a little space for them for Apple, the reason I always kept the app handy is because Pachinko, I will still advocate for, even though it's
Oh
a show
yeah, I
that
still
got
need to get
cut
to.
short. But Pachinko, they only got 2 seasons out of it. It was supposed to be five, adapting the book, but incredible. Great show. Like just good old fashioned Korean Japanese melodrama. It's set like in and around World War II, about Korean immigrants to Japan. Fucking incredible show. So good. And then I guess they were like, I don't know. This is getting too expensive. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was a production issue. I don't know what. I know it got interrupted by COVID. There was other shit, but like, oh man, that was a really special show. That was one of my faves. It was so
E-
good.
Evan, have you watched For All Mankind on
Oh
Apple?
no, I
Dude,
haven't.
I started it a while back. I tried to. I couldn't get into it. I just restarted it like 2 weeks ago, and I literally binged like all. I'm in the middle of season 5 right now, the most recent
Okay.
season. But it is like some of the neatest alternate history stuff. It's basically like, oh, maybe we didn't make it to the moon first. What would happen? And then like there's all these bits of like, okay, now we're in the 80s, and it's like, John Lennon narrowly avoided assassination, and the Beatles got back together a couple years later. Like just all these random things. But like, since we didn't make it to the moon first, we're like invested in trying to get to Mars and have like a moon base. And it's just, I don't know,
What's the name of
eh,
that show?
for all mankind. It's Joel Kinnaman from The Killing and
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
RoboCop remake. Not that great, but
Suicide
yeah,
Squad.
Suicide Squad. Yeah, Captain Rick Flag.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll definitely
That
check that one
that
out.
Oh, dude,
iconic
I did.
performance.
Yeah, and I saw the first few
Captain Rick
episodes
Flag.
of this.
yeah,
Uh,
it gets as you get going. Like I don't. For me, I got into it. I was like, okay, this is a neat. Like we're in a different version of the '60s. Let's see what happens. And we '70s, '80s, and now like I think the newest one is basically like 2012.
because they bring
Uh,
all the pilots together to be the astronauts for that moon mission. They end up not making it there first. Is that
right? Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and are they in a bar? Like if I remember
Yep.
correctly,
Yeah.
drinking and singing and yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Bunch of good character actors you would know are in there.
My favorite conspiracy theory that we never went to the moon. So
Yeah.
that's my favorite conspiracy theory. So
Dinosaurs aren't real. We didn't go to the moon.
I'll definitely check that one out.
Yeah.
Patrick, for the Burrows, have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it. I saw Alfred Woodard on one of the Jimmys the other night talking about it.
If you, since you like Stranger Things, I would say it feels like an adult version of Stranger Things. And of course, the Duffer Brothers were involved. They're like executive producers or
Producers.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just watched the other one that they exec produced on Netflix. Something very bad is going to happen.
Oh, is that good? I've been circling that one.
It has moments of greatness, and then it's not bad. It's just it's great, and then even keel.
Okay. It seemed to get yeah, it seemed people liked it at least somewhat.
Oh yeah, I liked it. It just it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Is the best I can say about it. But
So
the lead actress is great in it.
after all, second to all man for all mankind, that'll be the next one then, I guess. Noah, you got to do it. Margot has money problems, dude. It's so
Dude,
good.
it's
It's so good.
All right.
Magaro, your man Magaro's in there. He
Oh,
plays like
dude.
a
Oh, dude, speaking of Megaro, Agency season 2
when's
drops
that
in
coming
like
out?
I think it's like 2 weeks on Prime. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's before the end of the month. Um, but yeah, excited for that. We need to make a list at some, or we need to do an episode where we just go through and do the TV shows for the rest of the year since we're halfway through at this point. I'm trying to I think that's all I'm watching. I'm gonna go see Scary Movie. I think it's just called Scary Movie, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Isn't that
scary
the
movie. Yeah.
bit? That's the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go see Scary Movie tomorrow night. So be able
I
to chat
just
about that next
I
week as
just saw a
well.
poster where like it's scary, but like they're on a yellow wall, and I'm like, okay, there's got to
Dude,
be some reference to that
they
in there.
got that Backrooms parody out like that, man.
Yeah,
They're quick with it.
yeah.
Hope they're not using AI for it.
I can't
Anyways,
wait.
um,
R-
yeah. Trailers
Ross,
look good. I'm serious. I'm so fingers good, dude. I just need it. I need it to be as decent as Scary Movie 2. That's all I need. If it can make me laugh as many times as Scary Movie 2, a far inferior sequel, but that has its moments, that's all I need. As long as it's at least as good as that, which is not a good movie objectively, I will be happy. But enough bits I've seen in the trailer, I'm like, dude, I'm laughing. I'm ready to have a good time. Let's do this. I'm very excited.
I know you're
Sorry.
not
What were you
excited.
saying?
I know you're not excited for the Odyssey, but I was laughing the other day because Ross sent me a picture of his.
Same.
Oh
I got
yeah,
the same pic. We all got
he,
the same
he
photo.
said the same
He was
thing.
like,
Yeah.
I've been MIA, but I resurfaced to share this.
Yeah. So did he tell you
And
about
then,
Avatar? I was crying, dude.
oh no, no.
He bought a ticket to the new Avatar movie just to watch the first 5 minutes of the Odyssey, and then
Then
once
he
that was
left.
over, he
Dude,
left.
dude.
Well, that's like Meet Joe Black was the #1 movie in America just because it had the trailer for episode 1
Oh yeah, that's right.
that nobody saw the damn movie.
I actually kind of like that movie.
Does anybody remember this thing? This just popped in my brain when you were talking about Meet Joe Black, where like I remember this ABC News thing where like when Starship Troopers came out, Casper Van Dien was like buying kids tickets to The Little Mermaid too, knowing that they were gonna like sneak in to see his movie. People are like, "What are you doing?" Like, I don't. I tell me that. Please, somebody tell me that that happened. I feel like that's a thing I remember that
In
actually
the
happened.
90s, that was probably totally fine.
Yeah, it was like it was on like a nightly news thing, and I swear that's something that happened. I don't know if we're like if
Did
I'm misremembering it or whatever, but like I need to know that that happened at
He
some point.
definitely
So
tells that story on the commentary track. I don't know if it was an actual newscast or if you're
I
inventing
rem no no I
or any
remember
different
seeing
TV.
it because he was like standing in the hallway of a theater, like he was gonna take tickets. I was like, what the hell is this? And he's like, I'm just doing this to prove a point that like kids are gonna want to go see this anyway, so it doesn't matter, whether we rate it R or not. I'm like, Dad, I don't know if kids should be seeing like people get ripped apart and like just it's not the we
The
don't give a
infamous
shit.
shower
Yeah, it's not the
scene.
shower scenes or anything like that. It's just like, you know,
did Starship Troopers
Oh,
make our top 25?
I wasn't eligible.
Too old.
yeah.
Yeah, too old. In response to Ross's Odyssey thing, I sent him a
How much you
clip.
hate Chris Nolan movies.
No, no, no. I said this is just strictly like Ross and I only communicate in a few ways. My response was a video uh from it's just a clip from Collateral that says the timing of this song in the movie and the way it's played is cinematic genius. That's all the meme says, and it's the moment when fucking Audio Slave drops and the coyote walks across the street and like the music
Yeah.
kicks in Collateral. Yeah, because it's like yeah, Ross and I can only speak in either Michael Mann or Christopher Nolan related material.
Or Point Break. Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, or Bigelow. I forgot. Yeah. The triumvirate, the Ross bonding triumvirate. If you can talk about those three things, like you're good. You're good.
We used to watch when we were confined to the area for 6 months. We used to watch Point Break every single week, dude, without fail. It was, and it's still good. I mean, 100 times later, I still love it.
It is
Take it to the
Okay.
edge
it's a winner.
and
You take it
beyond.
to the edge. Yeah. Evan, did you ever see the Netflix thing, How to Rob a Bank, the documentary about that guy that was like the Hollywood bank robber guy?
Oh yeah, dude, that was a great one.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd seen that. That you brought up Point Break, and I was like, I feel like they mentioned in there that he was like taking cues from Point Break in these other movies and like
So
just putting on
the
makeup and stuff.
say that title again, Gav.
I think it's How to Rob a Bank is the name of the doc.
So I just saw a trailer. I believe the movie is the same title about Nicholas Holt is the lead in it. Is this like I didn't
If,
even pay attention if it's based on a true story, but I'm assuming
if
the
the
doc you're referring to is now being
if
made into a like I just saw the trailer for it. Like,
if
hold
the
on.
guy lives in a treehouse, then yes,
It's
because
just it's
that
an
was
insane story, and it takes place in Washington and Oregon, I thought,
yes,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. Um, it's anyway, I won't spoil it. No, the doc is definitely worth watching.
yeah, very much, yeah.
This
Okay, this maybe does not look like it's based in fact. Bank robbers are posting their heist on social media, causing police to chase them. Uh, and it's
Hmm.
directed by David Leitch, one half of the John Wick guys. You know, the guy who
I'm
did
in.
Bullet Train and shit.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
in,
of
dude.
course.
Nicholas Holt, John C. Riley, Christian Slater, Zoe Kravitz,
And Pete Davidson.
and oh, dude, Anna Sawai from the aforementioned Pachinko and Shogun. You may remember. Yeah.
Speaking of
um
crime movies, has anyone seen Crime 101 yet?
I need to.
Dude, I've
I
already
forgot.
had like 5 moments of deja vu in this podcast of like
Because I
we
keep
have
telling you to
definitely
watch it.
talked about this recently, guys. But yeah, we no, I have not gotten to it yet. But I was asking Brendan earlier in this episode, I was like, has anybody started watching anything to prep for Evan's heist episode, which we have not talked about on mic yet. So that will be how we'll close out right now. Tell people what you decided on for your win for your half of the Oscar pool.
We were doing, we're gonna do the top 10, our top 10 favorite heist movies. The parameters are so it can't you can't just have like a it can't be, for example, a movie like The Dark Knight where there is a bank robbery scene, but the movie does not center around the bank robbery would not meet the criteria. It has to like center around one last job, a specific heist or a string of heists, and then to make it meet the criteria. And I think we said the years, we didn't put a parameter on years, right? Because there was if we cut it, I think I said 1980 originally just because I wanted to get one specific movie in there.
Yeah.
But we want to go what later, right? Or earlier than that rather. So
I
like
think we just leave it open. Like it's just our top 10 favorite period. I was gonna say if anything, we can extend it to like we each do it. I mean, dude, I got 25. I could do 25. Not that the number has to be 25. I'm just saying. Um,
the
we can
reason I
make it
like
as long as you
10,
want.
I
I
like
think 10 is
10
manageable, totally.
well, it also allows a little bit of banter about whatever makes it into the top 10, because we do those ones that are 25 long. Sometimes it's tough to like spend a little bit of time on a movie.
Yeah, no, I think what we will do in this case, and no, I like keeping it to 10, but I think because we'll probably have a lot of variance, I like the idea of like we'll actually just do a round table where we talk through like maybe our list, but then that
Okay.
maybe gets complicated with where people have it listed. I don't know if we want to have just Mayfield crunch the numbers in advance, whatever. We play around with it. But I just don't want to be year restricted because I'll be honest, a lot of my top 10 would be coming from like way earlier. I also want to say for reference, so like by your criteria, and I agree with this, like Heat, not a heist film, not a heist film. There's a bank robbery in it very briefly, but like we don't see any of the planning of that. I mean, we see anecdotally, but it's like it's not about the heist. You know what I mean? But the other movie, the movie I'm not going to say that like you're referring to, the reason you wanted the 80s room is like, yes, that's literally like that is a centerpiece of the movie is that we see multiple elements of that. That's part of the character's identity, etc. Like I very much agree that that is a heist movie, but Heat is not a heist film. Would you agree?
So I was thinking,
Wikipedia says it's a heist movie.
Of course they do. But like I don't think of Heat as a heist film.
Neither did I. That's I was laughing when I read that one.
I think of it as a cops and robbers movie,
Yes,
yeah,
but go
which
ahead,
is
Adam.
different than a heist film. You know what I mean?
Yes.
well,
But
because
Den of Thieves, heist
a
film.
heist movie,
Heist film.
definitely. I
Because
would
they
like,
plan there's a planning element. I think that's maybe
So,
what I'm
okay,
saying that I think
so
is missing. I don't know. But there is planning in Heat as well. It's just you also got the cop story. So you're jumping back and forth.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
can we are we gonna say that like these Mission Impossible movies are heist films too?
That
Even
was another thing that Brendan brought up too. Yeah,
I
is
would
like
think probably not on Mission Impossible.
yeah.
It's
I'm
because
just
I
curious because there is a planning. There's always like, and we only got this one piece of equipment, and we gotta jump off the Burj Khalifa and do this and that or whatever. And it's like, okay, and then they do it. So like we know the planning's there, and then somehow they get by the skin of their teeth. But it's like
but
they're
they're not
right.
stealing anything.
But
Well,
see,
sometimes they are.
Sometimes they do, sometimes
But
But
they
see,
aren't.
if
So
if Mission Impossible is, that means half of James Bond are heist movies.
exactly.
right.
that's why I
I
think you could kind of broadly like eliminate a lot of franchise stuff and just say like, hey, this stuff's off the table, just to keep it more interesting. I
That's
mean,
what I
people
was.
can
I
make
mean,
a
I
case
don't.
for whatever they want, but
I
Yeah.
would think like I know Hell or High Water is probably thought more of as like a Western, but I would consider that
Oh no, that's a
probably,
heist.
yeah, I
they're
would
That's a
bank
consider
heist
that
movie.
meeting the
robbers,
criteria. Yeah, a
100%.
string of bank robberies. Um,
Place
I'm
Beyond the Pines is a
dude,
robber is a
Place
heist
Beyond the
movie.
Pines. I
sure.
would.
I'm gonna say like I think we just for the sake of broadness, I'm not even saying it's on my list, but something like Bonnie and Clyde, where it's like that's a character study, but it
Right.
also
Yeah.
has multiple bank robberies in it and is about literal like famous bank robbers. So it's like you could call it a heist movie if you want. You could advocate for it, but like that's maybe not gonna be on my list. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Okay.
like Public Enemies isn't going to be on mine because that's a biopic as far as I'm concerned. That's not a heist movie. That's a biopic, a
Well,
Michael
Exactly.
this
Mann biopic.
Yeah.
we might end up hashing out the criteria as we discuss more
No,
than
no,
anything
no.
else.
I think that's fun that you just because you can if you believe it's a heist movie, you're going to argue it. That'll be where the fun back and forth is. Is that
Yeah.
like, hey, this is where it is. This is why, you know. They
I just
had
thought
to
it'd be
get in
fun to
there.
broadly eliminate, like, yeah, let's keep Mission Impossible out of it because we've literally done like a Mission Impossible series and rankings
Yeah.
and like, yeah. Um,
And I think we don't worry about a year because that allows people to be like, I found this one that was back
Right.
here that maybe only Noah has seen, or Noah and Patrick probably saw this, but Brendan and I didn't. And
I'll just
but
say this,
Yeah.
if your boys aren't reading some subtitles, you're missing a lot of shit on your list. All the best heist movies are French. Like, let's just be real. All the best heist movies are
Well, that's
French.
kind of another thing too, is I wanted to be forced to have to do a little bit of research here,
That's
and
yes.
that was kind of
I have so many I could recommend, but then I also don't want to like spoil my list. But I figure that would be the whole point of the episode is like hopefully all of us at some point are like, oh dude, I haven't seen that one. Oh man.
yeah, I have already been using AI to help me filter through nice movies to watch. So
Please just go to IMDb like a normal person and just do like the genre search. It's like it doesn't use any AI. It just uses the database that literally exists there, that's existed for years. It'll give you plenty of great movies to pull from. It's a totally valid system. It doesn't, you know, doesn't use any water other than,
doesn't use anymore.
I'm just saying, you know.
It's not putting a strain on the grid.
It's just it's just old IMDb with all its shitty flaws it's always had. But you know what? If you want to go find crime movies that feature heist, you can literally pick those specific like subcategories, and they will just here's all the movies. Here's all the
Yeah,
movies in the Internet Movie Database. Oh, do you want them sorted by year and relevance and quality? Yeah, we can do that for you too. And it's just, it's
that's
all
the kind
right
of
there.
planning that we're talking about. Listen,
It's all right
you gotta be
there.
able to do the process yourself,
If you
You
guys
gotta
don't have the IMDb app on your phone, well, and also if you have Letterboxd, it does very much they're almost kind of at the point where it kind of functions like IMDb, where it's got, if you go and look at an actor or director or whatever, it's very easy to like drop down, here's everything they've ever done, all their credits, blah blah blah, and jump between people. It's still not quite as intuitive as IMDb, but maybe that's just because I've been using it for forever and I'm used to it at this point, but
well, Noah, I'm a true blue kind of guy. So
just get
I'm gonna be able to do that research manually.
dude, just yeah, I was gonna say hit your local library and start getting some classic heist films. I've got oh my God. Like I said, I started going chronologically kind of in my head and I was like, oh dude, I hit like 14 before I even got to the 80s. This is bad. That's why I was like, can we make it 25? There's so many good heist movies.
I thought so. For example, I thought if we were going to include stuff like Heat, then I thought, maybe everyone's top 3 to 5, there'd be a decent amount of overlap. What I was interested in was like the bottom 5 of people's lists, because those are
Mhm.
going to not really overlap, I think, um, would be
I'm
my
telling you, my
guess.
number one is not going to overlap with anybody, most likely.
Well, I can't wait because, yeah, I hope it's something I haven't seen.
Oh man,
I don't know.
I'm so excited. Okay, yeah, so everybody, reminder, the plan is to have those lists to Mayfield, I believe we said by like basically the end of June, end of this month,
Yep.
and the plan would be to record in early July. So be prepping for that. In the short term, go see Backrooms, go see Obsession. We'll be discussing those next week. I feel like the rest of the world has already seen them. They've already made all the monies at the box office. Uh, Can't wait to chit chat about all of that with you guys next week. Evan, I feel bad, man. I feel like we cut you short
No, no, no.
on
I'm glad I
Euphoria.
was able to make it at all. The
Dude,
bedtime routine gets longer every
I'm
night,
I'm
it feels
I'm
like.
glad somebody was able to come in and like at least be like, hey, it could have
That
been
was all I
worse.
wanted to do.
Could have been.
What I'm really looking forward to though is you listening to the conversation we had before you got on the pod and then texting the group chat about it, please. Like I kind of want like a real-time reaction as you're listening. Like just let us know and we can, that would be
Uh,
great.
it's one of those rare times where Noah and I are kind of lockstep on some stuff. So it's kind of interesting.
We hadn't had, and honestly, we hadn't had just a good old-fashioned bash fest in a minute.
International
It had
player
really,
haters ball, dude.
dude, it really had. Yeah. 100%. It had not happened with anything in a while. I'm struggling to remember the last time. Like, honestly, he's not here right now. You should have heard me on the phone with Brendan the other day. I was on the way to my open mic, and I was like, I was. It's a good thing we had that conversation because my energy level. You have no idea, man. I got so worked up like going through it with him. Um,
I was
It-
worried for
yeah.
me that it was just the state of mind I was in because I didn't see it till Monday night.
Hmm.
Because I got to the Denver airport at like 10:45 that time, and I touched down in Norfolk at 12:54 a.m. the next day.
Hmm.
So like I spent all day. I spent more time in airports than I did in planes because Baltimore to Norfolk is 39 minutes.
yes,
And
and
like then
always
I
a
got
shit show.
home and I started watching it at 2 and I didn't know that it was like an extended long
Yeah, you're like,
episode.
oh shit, it's an hour and 45 minutes
Man,
long.
I'm like,
Sun's
oh
coming
shit,
up. Sun's
I've
coming
been
up as
up
you're
since
finishing.
I've been up forever. Like maybe I'm just not in the know. This is just bad.
Hey, real quick though, did Noah? Did you guys talk about Patrick's meeting the OGs? Did he tell anybody about that?
No, we didn't talk about that.
Will you please talk about that real quick? Because I want Brendan to hear this, but he's not here. And
Mm,
also, did we tell Patrick happy belated birthday?
Happy
no.
birthday,
We did
Patrick.
not. Happy
Hey,
belated birthday.
Thank you
I
for
don't
the
think
uh,
belated birthday,
I
Patrick.
don't think I texted the cousin group chat either.
you did not.
Yeah.
I apologize.
That's okay. Okay.
I forget to check Facebook Messenger because I don't have Facebook on my phone anymore. So I often forget that I keep Messenger literally for the cousin group chat and then I forget to check it. So that's on
Uh,
me. That's on me. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. So please regale us with your tales of meeting
Oh,
Billy Loomis and Stu Macher, please.
Skeet Ulrich was fucking awesome because I get up to him
Oh
and
yeah.
he's like, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from Virginia Beach. And he goes, Virginia? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you know, my family's from Chesapeake. He's like, you know, my family's deep in Chesapeake. Like, we've been there since like the 1700s. He's like, I lived in Great Bridge for a while. My uncle is Ricky Rudd. So like we're talking about Hampton Roads. And like it was
That's
just
cool.
That's awesome.
and then Lillard was great too. Lillard will occasionally, sporadically, just wave through his line and pick up kids and special needs people and take them out of line and put them at the front.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I've heard.
Yeah, he was awesome. Talked to him about that Scream is my favorite movie. Yes, I can admit that. Um, and that it's been my favorite movie for 30 years. Like I enjoy him. Like I prefer The Curve to Dead Man on Campus.
Yes, thank God. Finally, somebody said it.
Told
I've
him
always
that,
loved
and
The Curve over Dead Man on Campus.
I've
yeah,
never
he was like,
seen
"Oh, awesome, thanks,
either,
man."
ashamedly. Maybe that's a two
Right
by
now
two
I probably
retro
gotta do it.
review.
Dude, Noah, you've seen them. We watch it on USA. Like they had. If your
Maybe I
roommate
need
dies, you
to
get straight A's. Come on, man. You
maybe I
remember
need to
this?
unlock it. I remember Dead Man on Campus, but I never actually sat and watched it. I remember the trailer
Ah,
and I remember the VHS cover, but I never sat and actually watched it.
right,
Yeah,
right.
Curve, never seen.
All right, now I got those on my list now too.
and then they just made me feel so short though.
That's what my mom
Oh,
said something.
yeah.
My mom
I
was
didn't
like,
know they were tall
"He's
guys. That's
he's
funny.
Oh, Matthew Lillard's tall as shit.
She goes, "Did you see who Patrick saw?" I was like, "Yes, mom. I have." She goes, "He's really tall," and I'm like, "She's like, and Patrick's not like short, so he's really tall." I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
mom. They're part of the reason why you can make it in Hollywood is if you're really tall." There's a whole thing in the show called Barry about it, about him just being tall and getting a role. Yeah, but that was the first thing she said was, "They're really tall because Patrick's not short." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yes,
they made,
mom."
they made me look like a kid next to him. Lillard made me look like a kid standing next to him.
What was was this like a convention of some kind?
Yeah, I went out. A good friend of mine lives outside of Colorado Springs, and he's lived out there since '97. My best friend lives in Pennsylvania. We each alternately have been out west once. Billy has been east like 17 times in the last 26 years. So it was time to go and visit him and do one of the cons.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Photo.
Like they had a
Man, he
whole
is
X
tall as
Files
shit.
reunion.
And Skeet
Yeah,
Skeet
I'm
Ulrich's
actually wearing the same shirt right now.
slouch either.
Yeah, Skeet's
Got a little bit on you.
yeah, but enough to make me feel like average short,
Yeah.
not like short.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Hobbits were supposed to be there, but then Fan Expo, the company that presented it,
Like
did a
all
show in-
four or just the two?
all
Merry
four.
and Pippin.
all
What?
four.
That would've been cool.
Gimli, Orlando Bloom, Miranda Otto, but they all ended up being just Sundays only because they were in Philly on Friday and Saturday. Like it was a great strategy. Like one company's like, okay, we only have to like get a half for this show and a half for this show because we'll fly people back and forth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, except for the people who are like, man, I really wanted to see a Hobbit
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and the Goonies. Like,
Oh man, that would have been
like Feldman was there, but like he's so short that like I couldn't see him over people.
He
Like, I
wasn't.
really don't want.
He
I don't want
wasn't like attempting to perform music or anything, was he?
No, but the Elijah Wood music concert got canceled because he wasn't there for Saturday night like he had originally planned to be when they announced it.
I showed the Goonies to Sam for the first time. It must have been a couple of years ago. And the scene where Feldman speaks Spanish to the housekeeper, Sam was crying like, you know, like, what does he tell her? There's cocaína.
yeah. They
and
keep
El
the
Capone.
cocaine here, getting the Perry. Yeah.
We were dying, so that still holds up.
And then I found out I work with the TV Flash's mom.
Oh, really?
Like we have a facility dog, which is like a companion animal for people who need to feel good. And Dr. Tina Gustin is the person who handles it. And she was talking to one of our facility, not related to the dog, but to the buildings people, and was like, she was telling him, yeah, it finally happened. Like I finally got my athletic kid because I got this kid that has a theater major, music theater. And I'm like, my dad understands. He had an athletic dog, and I have a BA in theater. And then she's going through it, and she's saying, well, I have a son. He dropped out of college. He didn't get his BA. He was on West Side Story on Broadway, and then he was on Glee, and then he didn't re-up on Glee and then I realized your last name is Gustin, and you're the Flash's mom.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Dude.
So speaking of tall, I now wonder how tall Jessie L. Martin is in real life because she said her Grant is 6'2", and Jessie L. Martin towers over him to create the father figure. So he's either on a box or he's like super tall.
That's wild.
Well,
Yeah.
it looks like Brendan is not going to be rejoining us, so we'll say goodbye on his
He's in the
behalf,
back rooms
but-
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently,
He
dude,
just,
he
he
might.
just no clipped. He's no clipped
Dude,
out of there. He's gone.
seriously, dude. I wouldn't be surprised. I wonder
What
how
if his-
Brendan. I wonder how
what if-
Brendan would fare. I
What if
wonder.
his
I
screen
wonder
just
how he'd do.
glitched right now? What if it just glitched
Honestly,
in the Zoom
Brendan would
call
do
and it
better
was
than
yellow?
anyone in the back rooms. He would do great. He would
Yep.
do fine. It wouldn't stress him out. He would just be like, "Wow, this is a new room." Just mosey on out to the.
100%, dude.
I
He'd be
I
fine.
can. Oh my God. I want it to be next week already, and I also can't wait to rewatch that movie. But yeah, looking forward to talking to you gentlemen again soon. Until next time, for the Arc of E podcast, I have been Noah.
I've been Gavin.
We've been the Blanchard brothers, and we've been joined by our cousin, Mr. Patrick J. Blanchard, our good friend, Mr. Brendan Riley, who is no longer with us, and of course, our good friend, Mr. Evan Tuhig, who has graced us with his presence. Thank you so much. But until next time, I fucked it up. I should have done the I've been blah blah blah, and then, I botched it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fucked it right up. So Gavin,
Stay
say
away from
something.
Just
So
fentanyl,
like-
folks. Stay away.
Yes, stay away. Yes, don't do
The
drugs.
only euphoria you need is the kind that's prescribed to you by the Lord.
Gavin, you have no idea how perfect what you just said is, and you haven't even watched the show. What a
Oh,
great
okay.
note to end on. It's literally the note that show fucking.
Is that what it is? Is that it? That's what it's all about? The
After
dangers.
saran wrapping people. Just-
It's literally like, let's sit down and pray. American flag.
Oh my
Fade
God.
out. I swear to God. Literally. Swear to God.
I mean, hey man, drugs are bad. Well, that's all we can say. Drugs are bad. Don't do them.
I can't wait to listen to how you guys hate on it.
Yes, you're gonna like it. I sat back here going, "Damn, these guys don't like this at all."
As it, Gavin came in like midway into the
I just
conversation.
sat
Of
here, I
course,
was like,
Gavin hasn't
"Shit."
seen Euphoria, so he's just hearing like these plot points from the finale. So yeah, Evan, I want you to imagine like 10, 15 minutes into our
And-
conversation,
and
Gavin
this
is
just be the whole
here,
time.
but you won't hear him for a very you won't hear Gavin for a really long time.
Nope.
But just he's there. Yeah, that shit was cracking me up in the back of my head. At one point, I saw him just sitting back like.
Oh wow, they did.
That's
that.
why,
Wow.
dude, I
Bold-
knew.
bold
I knew-
choice.
I knew it was going to be a hate session. That's why I was like, I got to come in and say something positive or a couple positive things just as a counterpoint. But
Oh yeah.
not great.
Rough one. That was a rough one. All right. Love you guys.